How many guys are there? How many guys?
Me and you.
Verse, what? 4 or 5?
Literally 4 guys, bro.
Jeffrey gets angry and starts fights, especially when he goes out drinking. It makes him feel so powerful to get loud and aggressive. Adonis doesn't fight unless he has to. He understands street fights are unpredictable, and he knows that fighting is high risk with minimal reward. And yet, Adonis trains. He prepares himself for the day that he doesn't have a choice other than to protect himself and his tribe. All of the advice online, on Reddit, on YouTube is absolutely trash. Men come fearing for their safety, and the advice you're given is, run away, run away, make sure you run away, check the laws in your country. Bullshit, bro. We're gonna go into detail in this video, and I'm gonna literally tell you like what hit to throw at the guy when you have to. My name is Hamza. I help young men go through the Jeffrey to Adonis transformation through self-improvements. Scroll down right now, click on the subscribe and the post notification button. It's a win-win for both of us.
Man, amazing, bro. You dropped a guy. This guy just came up to us out of nowhere. Bro, free ribs. That's it. Ribs was on the menu.
For me personally, most of the potential fights and arguments and aggressive situations have been in the nightclub environments, like the nighttime alcohol-involved environments. Because this is literally the prime environment. It's fueled by alcohol. There's usually hot girls there, so all the guys are like weirdly horny and like testosterone's probably going up. We're all competing. Like, obviously no one's thinking this, but we all somewhat are competing to be the alpha male who gets the bitches of the night. It's a very raw place to be. And so we're dancing in a circle. Me, 2 of my male friends and 3 of my female friends. We're all dancing in a circle. And out of nowhere, this drunk guy like stumbles in, like brushes into some people. Don't really think much of it. You know, he's a bit of a dickhead. So I think we say something like this. I say something out loud like, oh, what a dick. And he kind of like, you know, stumbles off. Like it's like 10 p.m. and he's at this point. So obviously he is a dumbass, right? Out of nowhere, this other guy comes up and he's like, that's my mate. That's my mate you're talking about. Within literally like a second, this is kicked off and it's gonna get like aggressive. Now my friend did something like a 10 out of 10 move right here. I'm not even gonna lie. My friend just literally walked behind this guy and just held his arms. Like almost like he was almost pretending like, you know, he was like holding the guy, and he just kind of like slid his arm down and he just held both of his arms like this. And I saw the guy like, well, my friend had him held. Like, good man. Thank you, Kai. This guy's getting loud. He's got his arms behind him. He's like thrashing everywhere. Bouncer comes in, takes him out. Now, this was like an easy situation. This was like a low-level situation. Let's go one step higher. This is in a different club. I'm in the smoking area and I'm speaking to this cute girl. And, you know, it's going well. I'm flirting with her, everything. Some Asian guy comes to stand like to the side of us. This is the first time a brown skin... Okay, I've only ever had problems with white guys. It's just how it is. Like, white guys seem to like be more aggressive in these, like, you know, the drunk lad who drinks pints and shit. Never once has like a black or a brown guy ever even had an argument with me. This was the only time I can remember. This brown guy just stands to the side of us, looking at me aggressively, and he goes, shut up. What? Shut up, bro. What are you on about, bro? He wants to speak to this girl, or he knows her, maybe he's dating her or something. I've just approached his girlfriend or something. Bro, you know what I do? I'm like, all right, I walk away. Now, you might think that, oh, that's not the alpha male thing to do, Hamza. But I actually would think that it is, because in your comfortable spot right now, you're sat on your crusty computer chair, you're nice and safe. It's nice to think like, oh, Hamza, you should have hit him, Hamza. It's nice to be a little spurg like that. But when you're in that moment, and people die in these moments, I'd say I did the alpha male thing of just saying like, yeah, whatever. Bro, the girl's cute, but she's not even worth the anxiety and the discomfort of having even an argument with the guy. Never mind actually hitting each other. Never mind actually getting dropped by his friends. So I turn around and I walk away. Later on in the night, I walk back into the smoking area. I'm speaking to more bitches and everything, but then I see him and his group, like his group of like a lot of guys, like 7, 8 guys, all in the corner, and this guy's just staring at me. He's pissed for some reason, boys. Like, it wasn't even his girlfriend. Like, she wasn't around at this point. She's just disappeared or something. He's just staring at me, and his friends are like talking to him, and they're like pointing at me and everything. I'm getting worried, so I'm like patting my friends, like, you know, my friend's speaking to a bitch or something, so I like pat him. I'm like, bro, like, it's me, 2 or 3. No, actually, I had a fair amount of friends on this night as well, actually. So it's a couple of my friends, a couple of his friends, and now it starts getting heated. His friends are coming up and they're like, you know, putting their arm around me, like, bro, what did you do? Why is he so pissed off at you? Like, you do realize we're gonna have to like do shit. And like, they were all Asian guys as well. We're all like almost, like, a couple of his friends were being real nice and were like, we don't want to start shit or anything, what's going on? And I said, bro, like, I'm never gonna start a fight against an Asian guy. They seem to respect this because I'm being polite to them. I'm literally like putting my arm around them and saying like, bro, like, I might have spoke to his girlfriend or something, and they're saying, oh, I think they might have said like, oh no, it's not his girlfriend, or it might have been, but she wasn't around or anything. It's getting heated. My friends are speaking to him. You know, everyone's kind of doing this buddying up thing where like no one really wants to fight, but everyone is on edge, and you can see like guys literally like cracking their knuckles and shit. We're getting ready, and to be honest, it just kind of diffuses. It's kind of anticlimactic, but it just kind of diffuses. His friends kind of say like, just kind of like, don't look towards him. My friends say to him like, oh bro, come on, like, let's go get you a drink or some bullshit. this, and his friends kind of go with him, my friends go with me, no problem. That was like a medium situation. That could have turned into like a full blown brawl. Potentially it didn't because of social skills, which we will get into soon, but that was like a medium level thing. Let's go one step higher. So it's the end of the night. Again, club, alcohol related. It's probably 3 a.m. Me and my one friend, are leaving the club. We've just finished the night and we're gonna go get some chicken wings. So we cross this big intersection. So it's like a big ass road, right? And we're on one side of it, we're going across. And on the way other side, like solid 20, 30 meters away, like some good distance away, there's like a group of people. And obviously, like, you know, it's 3 a.m. You expect people to be like loud and drunk and everything. But there was like, you can tell the difference between like a drunk, loud bitch compared to like a drunk, aggressive guy. And we could hear that type of guy. Like, this guy's like, okay, we look to the side. This guy's shirtless. So it's white guy, somewhat short. He's shirtless and he's just yelling and he's shouting at people and shit. So me and my friend are lit. We probably shouldn't have done this, but we kind of like shout over. We didn't say anything offensive, but we just kind of like encouraged it. We're like, yeah, hit them, bro. Like, we were just shouting them bullshit. I don't even remember what we said, but I don't remember particularly saying something offensive to him. But of course, this guy's drunk as f, he's shirtless, and he looks over to the side and he starts swearing at us and he starts walking towards us like aggressively, like he's pumping his Conor McGregor type of shit. He's walking towards us. Like, what the f***'s gonna happen, bro? So he crosses from the way other side. Like, this road is massive, by the way. From the way other side of this road, he crosses all the way towards us. Like, it almost felt like kind of slow motion at this point, where it felt like I was getting 100 thoughts in my mind. Like, what the f***'s gonna happen? Like, what should I say? We're almost like, I almost felt like me and my friend were kind of like pussing out a little bit, where we, as he was coming closer, we kind of like shouted nicer things, like, oh yeah, like nice biceps, bro, or some bullshit. So he's walking towards us aggressively. His friends are on the other side. They haven't like really crossed over. They're just kind of like looking at to see what's happening. And I didn't even know what to think about it. When he gets close, to be honest, you know what? When he gets close, I didn't think. I had no thoughts, but I remember one specific thing that I did, which I said before, but one specific thing I did was this. I clicked my knuckles. He gets close. Without saying it, a single word, with aggression, he comes and pushes my friend. Pushing my friend with force. I didn't think about it. He's on the floor. Not my friend, but this drunk ass white guy. He's on the floor. Within a split second, I had hooked this guy with force, bro. I still remember the way that he spun. Like, he spun kind of like inside of himself, like a Beyblade. Do you know what a Beyblade is, bro? Like, let it rip. Beyblade, let it rip. He spun like that, like this fool. Crossed over this road. I made him spin like a Beyblade. He falls down, like crashes down. He's like spurging out on the floor. His friends are running up, getting like proper aggressive and everything. And I specifically remember that one of his friends was massive, but he was like running towards me a bit, but he was like, you know, what the fuck's going on? Why did you hit him? And I literally just said, yo, like, he crossed the entire road. He came up and pushed my friend. Like, you know, I'm saying this again, social skills. This big ass guy, bro, and he's just kind of like, he kind of agrees with me. He just stops running towards me, goes towards his friend, like picks him up, and me and my friend go and get chicken wings.
Yo, what did he do when he came up? He started pushing, yeah.
Bro, he pushed me once. Like,
So what did I do?
ribs on the menu.
Because this shit really does happen, and sometimes you cannot, as always, the standard advice that you see online, on Red Pill, on Reddit, on YouTube, all this bullshit is usually just trash. Sometimes you can't run away. Like, we could have ran, okay? We could have ran. Would you have ran? Would anyone, like the drunk guys like crossing the road, would you have like, would you have f***ing run? No, you wouldn't have, bitch. Okay, best case scenario, anytime a man makes eye contact with you and he doesn't look friendly, 10 toes away. But it's not realistic, because one, it's sometimes that feels like social suicide, because that feels awkward as to like do it, and you're gonna look like a fool sometimes. So look, but okay, looking like a fool is safer than getting your ass beat or beating someone, getting put in prison, fair enough. But sometimes you won't even get like the brain like signal to run, because I didn't in this point. I didn't want to fight, but I froze, because there's 3 responses you can have in this type of situation, and that is fight, flight, or freeze. And I don't know about you, but I am a freezer up until I fight. I have never been a flight type of person. You might be the type of guy who runs away. But if you've been beat by your parents, bro, you're probably a freezer. You probably like stand there just like waiting to get hit by your dad, bro. And you can usually tell, like, one thing that pops into mind is, imagine when there's like a drunk white guy, obviously, drunk ass white guy on a train being racist. This has happened to me many times, right? He's being racist. The moment he gets loud, you will see the people who are in flight mode. Literally, he gets loud. His first word of being loud, 3-4 people will stand up and start running away. Everyone else is in either freeze or ready to fight mode. I don't think most people are flight. I don't think most people would run away. And I'm not going to tell you that stupid advice of, oh, run away anytime you get in trouble, bro. Sometimes you need to know how to defend yourself. Now, it's unlikely that this drunk ass motherfucker, it's unlikely that he would have seriously harmed us. But he could have, because me and my friend froze. And he chose to push my friend. What if he came, and what if he knew how to fight? What if he actually punched my friend with force? What if he had a knife? What if he had a gun. So it's time, you need to learn these steps. Now, step 0, the prerequisite, is to learn how to fight. This is a prerequisite to becoming a man, because if you cannot protect yourself or your loved ones, you are not a man, you're a liability. Now, the best case scenario is to train specifically to defend yourself, and this, you'll be able to find it in different countries, but this generally is this martial arts sports club called Krav Maga. You can search this online on your like Google Maps or something. You'll probably be able to find a club nearby. This is probably one of the best ones to join if you specifically want to learn about self-defense. But at the very least, just do 3 months of any kind of striking martial arts. Striking means like, you know, hitting, okay? And martial arts would be like boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai. Do 3 months of any kind of striking, and if you want to be very, very well-rounded, couple that striking with any kind of grappling and groundwork, wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You'll be protected all round if you do this. Most people say just learn BJJ. Like BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, has got like this cucky kind of, what would you say, circle jerk because of like Joe Rogan and everything, and all the guys like BJJ, like it's overrated in this sense in my opinion. People say, okay, just train BJJ. A lot of the stuff that you learn in there, you will not be able to use in a street fight. Bro, get him into the perfect armbar. You're about to snap his arm off. Congratulations, bro. You know what's gonna happen? His friend's gonna stomp on your face. He's gonna bite your dick off or something. Something like BJJ is only good in a street fight to literally just make sure you don't get put onto the ground. But the moment you're on the ground, you're trying to do some f***y shit like playing chess with this guy's body, bro, his friend's gonna come and stab you in the back. So this is the prerequisite. Step 0, learn some martial arts. Learn at least some kind of striking, some kind of grappling. And so here is the autistic way to implement this advice, because I used to see this advice and people on Red Pill would say, okay, learn martial arts, and I'd be like, yeah, that sounds awesome. And then I would not do it. And so you need like this very specific, like almost childish advice of exactly how do you start one. Go on to Google Maps, search for the type of martial arts that seems interesting to you. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai, whatever. Just search for that. And on Google Maps, you'll be able to see the clubs that are nearby. Click on their website, and almost all of them will have a free first day. And even if they don't, it'll be what, $10, $15, whatever, just take some cash with you. You can see their timetable on their website, maybe their Facebook page, and just go to the first nearest class that you can attend. Don't overthink it. Don't think, okay, you've got to message them. Don't think, okay, wait, how do I know if it's going to be good? Specifically, you need to go to their first free day, and then you'll be able to tell from that point, because you could find the best club in the world and it's really, really affordable, but if you don't go to the first day, you're never going to join. Or you could go to the first day and everyone is a total asshole to you, and then you don't want to go, but there's another club down the road that you go to their first day, everyone's really nice, and you feel like you're leveling up anyway. You need to go to that first free day, usually free, sometimes take $10, $15 with you, as soon as possible. Now, step 1 is anxiety and mindfulness, because you've been reminded about this concept of danger, that other people could harm you in this video. So I'm willing to bet that in the past 5 minutes, you've probably sweat more than normal. That since watching this video, your heartbeat's probably going a little bit faster. You've got this like weird sense of like, how do you say that word? Adrenaline, excitement. And you think that that's going to help you in these fights. And you're probably like, you've probably got this mindset right now, like, oh, I could smash a workout. That feeling that you've got is anxiety. And you think it's productive. It's actually going to be the reason why you get dropped. Because think about the master fighter. Does he have anxiety? Does he have excitement? No, he's calm. He's stoic. He regulates his mind and his body. You think that you'd hit a fantastic workout with this rage. You know, the people who hurt you, and you think about them and you get angry, and you think you're going to hit a fantastic workout because of that. No, it's mindfulness, flow, concentration, being focused. That's going to help you to give you the best workout or even save your life in a fight. And you want to know how I know this? Because I used to fuel my workouts with the thought of crushing the skull of the racist who tried to stab me. Like, that was my go-to thought, and I didn't have good workouts. I was very distracted for them. I never hit PRs in those sessions. You will get fatigued from thoughts, and these type of thoughts don't energize you. They don't make you feel good. They don't give you confidence or strength or anything. These type of thoughts, mentally and physically, literally physically, like the real science is there. These type of thoughts will physically fatigue you. Then compare that to the times where you're so focused on your workout, so mindful, so concentrated that you don't even change the song once on Spotify. You don't even touch your phone. You're hitting PR after PR. So in terms of preparing for fights or danger or being threatened, step 1 is longer term consistent meditation. This will help you always, and no matter what you want to do, literally pick anything that you want to do which is completely random, and I'll find a way to explain how meditation will help you with it. It's insane that people don't meditate, but here's your chance. Meditate every single day for the rest of your life. There and then, in that moment, in that situation where it's about to go down and some guy's swearing at you, some guy's being racist, regulate your mind and your body. I'm not going to make this a weird bullshit guide where I'm going to tell you like the 10 steps to do and you know, watch out for his shoulder and shut your f***ing mouth. One hopefully simple thing that you can remember: breathe. That's it. Just at that point when shit is kicking off, if you just remind yourself to just breathe, a nice big deep breath into the stomach, like into your balls, as Elliot Holtz used to say. Breathe into your fucking balls at that point, because when it's really kicking off, you're taking shallow breaths. That's gonna not only make you like weaker and more fatigued, but you're gonna look weaker. You're gonna get that closed body language. Start cowering over. That's going to make you look like less of a threat, less able to defend yourself. When shit's kicking off, big breath from your nose into your stomach, open up your body. I know that seems like weirdly simple advice, but it could potentially save your life because it's going to bring you back into regulating your mind and your body. Then step 2 is body language and situational awareness. If you aren't even observing his body language and the situation around you, what's gonna happen? You're gonna wake up being like, oh, well, what happened? You didn't even realize that his friend just hit you from the side. You have to keep your eyes open and you have to stay aware of the entire situation, not just a tunnel vision on the guy in front of you. You can generally, if you ever have the curiosity to watch street fights, you can see that like guys who watch football do this shit where they'll stare at each other, or they'll like get so close that they could almost kiss each other. Like this is the other guy's forehead, and they like do this like they're fucking rams. This tunnel vision is going to get you hit from the side by his friend. So again, I'm not going to overload you with information. That I did some research before this, and everyone said, okay, well, if his shoulder drops by this, and if he does this with his hand, no, it's stupid. It's too much. You're not, like anyone who's been in a real fight, like you're not going to remember this weird shit that I tell you right now, okay? His shoulder's going to drop, and if he looks in a 13-degree angle, you're not going to remember. So I'm just going to tell you one main rule, and I think this is the one that you can remember, which is never let anyone get to the side or behind you. You quickly observe the entire situation, see like who seems to be on his side. Just make sure no one is behind you or to the side of you. Now, step 3 is to avoid. And this is the reason why the first 2 stories that I told you didn't exactly get violence. You can avoid a lot of these aggressive, violent fight situations through social skills. Because let's put you into this scenario right now. You're in the middle of a club. Alcohol's always fucking involved in fights, right? And someone starts chatting shit. Yo, and so you're in the middle of the club, you're enjoying yourself, someone gets aggressive onto you. All the Redditors will tell you to run away. This guy says F you to you, and you're like, you run out of the club, okay? You're not gonna do that, especially because in the situations where fights are happening, it's usually like a packed place where you can't literally run. Like you'd have to like fully like, excuse me. You're not gonna do that. You wouldn't need to, because let's say this big ass meathead says, yo, you just bumped into me. What do? This is exactly what you do. You hold your hands up. It's like, yo, I'm sorry. He'll swear even more. He'll even say something that like triggers your insecurity. You've got Gyno. I watch your YouTube channel, Hamza. You've got Gyno. I see you talking about it. Whatever he says, you almost take it as like nonchalance. Like his words don't mean anything. Keep your hands up. You say, I'm sorry. And you start walking away. You do not turn to the side or to the back. This is the time when if you like say, oh, you know, you get scared and you start walking away, you're gonna get fucking socked in the back of your head. That's happened to me twice in the same night as well by the same fucking people. There's no rules in a street fight. There's no like, oh, you know, you can't hit him from the back, lad. Like they'll take the advantage that they can get. And if you're looking at them, like I know it seems a bit socially weird to kind of stick your hands up like this and maybe step away from them whilst looking at them. Completely fine, because if that saves you from turning around and one of them just coming up and hooking you in the jaw, it's worth it. And the reason specifically whilst we're holding our hands up like this is because the observation of other people. Now imagine there's CCTV cameras in the club, right? Think about what they're gonna see. Usually these cameras are in like 140p black and white, right? All they're gonna see is like you do this and this guy's coming at you like this. Who's gonna look like the perpetrator, the aggressor? The people around you who potentially could jump in and help either one of you. Who are they more likely to help? The guy who looks angry or the guy who's like doing this? And also this is a very safe, like, if your hands are literally up like this, you're like this, right? This is a very safe position for you to be in. You can catch attacks like this, you can block your face, you can even throw much faster than if you've got your hands. Like I see some stupid ass video clips. I used to have an obsession with watching street fight videos, and some of them it's like the guy would like want to show that, you know, he was confident and stuff, and so he'd walk to this guy like with his hands like up here with his chin stuck out, and so of course the other guy would lightly hook him, the guy falls. Oh, I see, you see some fights with like the guys, originally he's got his hands in his pocket like a dumbass. No, we want to shortcut every detail so that we can protect ourselves. And the best way to protect yourself is literally, you know, you keep your hands up here, boxing stance. If you've already got your hands here, you're almost already there straight away. And so in this situation, this guy's yelling at you. You're gonna apologize, you're gonna walk away, you're gonna keep your eye on him. You just walk away like, oh, I'm sorry, bro, I didn't mean to bump into you, my bad, bro. He's gonna start swearing, say something racist, my bad, bro, I'm sorry. Just start walking away whilst I like looking at the guy. That was you avoiding, that was you like trying to leave the situation. What if he follows you? What if he gets closer to you? That is when you get loud. And I found that this is actually like a little bit of a barrier that you have to break to skyrocket how effective you are in this type of situation. This guy's getting loud, he's getting like, you know, like angry and his blood's rushing. He's getting ready for the fight. You're like really quiet and reserved. Now it's more than just him shouting at you. It's more just than him swearing. Now he's walking towards you. Now he's becoming like a full-on danger. This is when you start to get loud and you start to shout, but you shout almost like defensive victim stuff, which is like, yo, don't step towards me. Stay away from me. Do not step closer to me. I don't want any problems. Stay away. Again, CCTV, potentially like club bouncers, potentially any kind of like observers, anyone who jump in, hear this shit. And at this point, if he's still walking towards you, he's going to hurt you, unless if you hurt him first. If you can run at this point, try and run. But honestly, the advice I give you at this point, like you're not going to be able to remember this. At this point, honestly, if you've been in these situations before, there's no more thoughts. If there's ever a time that you get into a flow state, it's at a point like this. All thoughts switch off. Your legs are shaking like this, and you're getting so ready. You don't get to think at this point. If you're a runner, if you're someone who seems to tap into the flight mode, okay, fantastic. Best case scenario. You might not be. I'm not. At this point, personally for me, if you're anything like me, I freeze. Like this is like, I start standing still. I can't even speak or anything. I just kind of like stare at the person. This is from like disassociation from like childhood trauma, like long story and shit. Like you probably can experience that. So I freeze at this point. I freeze up until it is time to fight. And so step 4 is strike first. And this, now I'm going to teach you exactly how to hit, which I've never seen any other guide. All these guides, like if you're watching this video, you want to know this specific like gory detail of what hits to throw, right? And all these guys, every time I'd see them, and they'd always just say like, oh, don't get into fights, guys, don't get into fights. Before you fight, go on Google and search up the laws and the legislations. Like, what the f? These Redditors actually saying this shit, like, oh, before you defend yourself, go search up the self-defense laws in your area. Shut the f up, bro. If I'm like this, if I've walked away from this guy and he's still coming towards me and he's got into like literally this far away, bro, this guy is going to hurt me. Like, this guy will f you up. And I'm not even talking about his friends who've already like walked to the outside of you. Now, again, if you can run, fantastic, but a lot of times you can't. And don't stand there going on, wait, 1 second, bro, 1 second, let me just, what's the government website? Let me just double check, can I defend myself? Or what's the section 3.8 law, some bullshit? No, at this point, you are in danger. And so the exact hits that you're gonna go with, most people will do a very random, like stupid boxing hit, right? Most people have never done boxing. And so they'll do usually some kind of like long range hook, which is one of the worst hits you could throw in this area. What you'd instead go for is the side of your elbow, right about here, this bit here. This is one of the hardest parts of your body. Here, specifically to the side of the chin. Now again, most people would almost automatically go for the nose because it just seems like where you'd go for. The side of the chin will make that guy spin like a Beyblade, like I said before. The side of the chin is how you get knocked out. In boxing, one of the most fundamental things is to keep your chin down. If you fight like this, you're gonna get twatted. You keep your chin down like this. Most guys won't do this in a street fight. You keep your chin like down like this, it protects it. If someone gets into the distance that you could elbow them, which you've got to think is like, it's not, there's no distance, right? If like I couldn't even elbow the camera right now, you get what I mean? So if I could elbow someone who's coming towards me aggressively, like they deserve to be elbowed. Now, of course, the disclaimer of like, oh, but check with the police first. Like, no, I don't care, bro. If someone is this close, where they're this far away from you, after you walking away from them, they're legally following you at this point. I don't care about the laws. At this point, it's my survival instinct to neutralize this threat. Exactly what you're gonna do once it comes to this point. I hope it doesn't come, but if it fully does, that someone is this close to you, they're about to hit you, bro. Usually when someone's walking up to you aggressively, there's usually a bit of a gap. Like they won't walk up and as soon as they've got range, like this much range, they won't throw it like this. Usually with every, like if you go and search for like some street fight video, they'll come up for a split second, you know, do some bullshit like this, stick their hands down and go like, oh bro, and then they'll hit you. You have like that split second to act first if you absolutely have to. So you're gonna slightly step in with your front foot. At this point, you should be in like, you know, the full-on boxer stance, which is literally just stick your right, if you're right-handed, your right foot slightly back, your left foot slightly forward. We won't go into like too much detail with that shit, but pretty much as soon as it comes to this point, take a little step in, right elbow down a little bit, and just swing hard as against the chin. We're not even trying to hit the chin, okay? We're not trying to hit the chin. We're trying to go through it. Imagine you are like bursting through, not even connecting, but bursting through a door. We don't want to hit the chin. We're going to like literally connect with it. If you can do like a little visualization, like success visualization beforehand, through the chin, fully imagine that his head is going to like twist like this. And I know this is like gory detail that might be like unacceptable for YouTube, but better him than you. That is all you do. The one hit to his chin, that will fully drop the guy. Even if you're not very weak, even if the guy's way bigger than you, to the side of the chin will fully drop the person to the floor. It always will. After this, step 5, one of the most important steps, escape. Now you've got to play the game of escaping his friends, him when he probably will stand back up depending on how good your strike was, the police, the bouncers, anyone who's trying to fight you, because at this point his friends will chase you. He will call someone who will come with a knife or a gun to come and get you. So hit first, hit hard, then escape. This is when you, like, I found that you can almost tap into that running mode again. You can tap into the flight mode. Usually, at least for me, the few times I've been into this situation, I fully freeze, then I go into fight mode, and after the fight mode, after I've hit the guy hard once, I only ever hit people once. After that point, bro, sprint all the way. That's your cardio. That's your high intensity interval training back home. Go get some chicken wings.
Ribs on the menu.
Do not stay around to be the victor. Do not shout and start celebrating, because I see this so many times bro, I went to the club many times in my student days. There would be a fight like every week, right? There'd be a fight like every week. You know, everyone shouting, everyone, like, the crowd's watching everything. One guy wins and I'm like, yo, he's won, right? Fantastic, right? This dumbass would win the fight, and he just kind of starts shouting, and he just stay there, and he'd look at the guys who he's dropped and, do some bullshit. So what do you think happened? The bouncers come up, they grab this guy, they put their knee on this guy's neck, they manhandle him. You see this guy two big ass bouncers carrying his arms, dragging him by his hair and stuff. He's going through all the piss on the floor and shit. Looks like a fool. They take him straight outside and then straight into the police car. Another time, they're fighting, not in the club right now, but just outside the club on the road. They're fighting and everything. One guy literally gets a solid hit on some other guy. Police car whizzes up. This guy's just shouting and everything. Gets arrested straight away. As soon as you hit, as soon as it's possible, bro, sprint the f away. Do not stay around to be the victor. Do not stay around to finish off the night. If it's a club, whatever it is, get the f out. Party, whatever it is, get out, because you could annihilate this guy. Let's say he's passed out for the entire night. It's not gonna happen, but let's say he's passed out for the entire night. His friends will stab you. Something worse will happen. The police will be called, the bouncers, something will happen. Get out. You've won. You've profited at that point. That was the exact thought I had when I hit this guy who came up and pushed my friend. It was straight away, I got the thought, okay, we've profited. We've already won. Let's get the f out of you. I don't need to stay and fight his friends now. I've already won. If I leave right now, it's I've left with profit. There was a good return on investment for this. But if I stay, what is this to stay for? Potentially me get hit too. I don't want that. As soon as you connect with that hit, you get the f out of the situation. Now, of course, I'm going to give the disclaimer. I wanted to do this at last because I don't want to waste your time with this disclaimer. I'm not encouraging people to fight. Don't fight, bro. It's stupid. But this isn't about fighting, even though I've titled it like that. This is about protecting yourself. You will never be the person who is the antagonizer. You will never be the person who's the guy who's shouting, who's loud, and who picks on someone. But it will happen to you. Multiple times through your life, it will happen that you'll have a time when there is a guy who's picking on you, who is aggressive on you. And if you don't know some of this knowledge, that's the shit that you overthink about for 10, 20, for the rest of your life. That's the shit that gives you anxiety for the rest of your life. I highly recommend, if you want to take the actionable step right now, you do that thing which I said in step 0. You go right now, search up the martial arts club and book in the first session. You don't even need to book in. Generally, you can just go show up to the first session. I can't even explain to you how much that has changed my mindset. My anxiety has dropped by a significant, honestly, about 80% in just the last couple of months. It was already making good progress, and it's training kickboxing. I'm not even good at kickboxing, right? I'm not even good. I've done 2 months of training, maybe 2.5 months. But it gives you this almost nonchalant feeling where you now know you don't need to overthink about it. You know that you don't need to stress or be anxious about it. Because I know what my sort of capabilities are. I don't need to plan the fight anymore. Anxiety is kind of planning something bad that could happen, so you can be really aware of it and you can try and save yourself from the pain. It's been almost ticked off. It's yeah, you don't need to plan, because you could probably, not great. Someone could stab the shit out of you, obviously, but you'd be relatively, if you had an okay chance, you'd be relatively fine. We don't need to preemptively think of some dangerous situation anymore. That's very life-changing for me, and I wish that for you. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.